for audio. Good morning again. All right, make this bigger. Cool. And while that thing's coming up, actually do this participants chat. So this is about 7 minutes early. So after the fact, if yeah. So this is about 7 minutes early. So we won't really get into the class content until 11 on the sharp. So after the fact, feel free to just go ahead and take your little time scroll and move all the way to about 7 minutes, and you'll see where we start class. But if you want to listen to me shoot the breeze and run around and do stuff, that's cool too. Don't have enough people here like that. Meantime, I'm actually gonna run down the hall. On a call. Should let me. No. Not like me. Yeah, I'm spotlighted. So that's what that does. It finally gave me. It's like if someone pins a video somewhere. Cool. I'm still figuring stuff out myself. I don't know if we need why to begin. That's too big of a question for methods. That's like understanding the entire world. I'll be right back.
Like he's having fun.
Not with me, but like something I can't really keep up with him. His mind.
He just rambles.
Yeah. But that's why I get confused. I'm like, is it information we should write down, or are you just saying this to just say? I'm like, I don't know.
I try to put down keywords and I get through the semester. And
Yeah. I get lost because he goes off to one thing and then I'm like, I'm confused. Oh yeah.
in his mind.
Yes. That was a bit too much for me. This last class, I guess. I'm like, can you understand that like nothing's posted, but I guess on Sundays it's something. And he was like,
Did not mention assignments.
yeah, he was like, oh no, which is like.
We'll get there eventually.
It's like,
Come on, girly.
here, I was like, I'm lost, look at me. It's like, really, kind of like, bird forward, it's like.
Give him like, we probably won't have an assignment for like 2 weeks. To be real with you.
Okay, it was just kind of laugh.
Yeah, I'll probably do more, maybe 2 assignment first.
That's confusing. But I was like, okay.
Like, who needs a thing to assignment?
Whatever you say. Every time I'm sure. I don't think they're all on the same page. I really don't. I feel funny how you usually off one hop to the next hop. I don't know how that brain works. I'm not trying to. But he can.
Oh, the coffee takes.
He drinks water and stuff. I don't know.
Today he was on water.
That's not good.
Or did you? 3 minutes now?
I'm just sorry.
Studying.
I know on the first day you just went over this, it was from that one stage.
Yeah.
We had 4 minutes. I'm gonna turn on the song. I was trying to get it. I haven't connected audio yet for her. I hope that her oh, that's loud. Meantime, I'm gonna turn on the song. I want boom. How loud is it? Play. Play. Does it? Okay, let's play with that a little bit. That's gonna be no, there's nothing changed. That's interesting. Think like that a little bit. No audio whatsoever. Okay. Let's try that. Nope, nothing. This
Didn't you write my personal?
that one
statements
works.
in
Okay,
PV?
good. A little bit of blues.
Sitting on the fence for 20 years, I've been trying to mix the spells, but it don't look good, Mom. Don't look too good for me. You know I was waiting in the wall. Oh, I was washed out. Sky for 20 years. Now it's time, but it don't. Because Mom, don't look too good for me. Blackbirds grown up for 20 years and I'm in and out of love, but it don't look good. Don't look too good for me. Oh my God.
I do a lot for free too. Yeah. I think I teach, last year, I think I taught about 20 classes, average is 4. So yeah, I do about 3 times, and that's just one area. That's just one area. Yeah, it is, but make sure you're having fun. I was always like that. My favorite job I ever had, it's actually it's like that. My favorite person I ever interacted with because they're just so weird. I'll tell you a little about that. I'm not trying to sell it. A little louder, and I like really weird. This guy, he ended up going on to become a chance to another university. Excuse my boss's provost vice chancellor. There's musician, polyglot. Mentioned that second time I've used that word today because it's been on the line. He's been on the line. He died a few years back. Introductory kind of position answering phones. So literally, like, just finished my bachelor's, got a job. It's like I'm gonna leverage this thing out. That guy was so fucking smart. I'd never seen anything like that. Excellent pianist, traveled the world and had a D and a doctorate in music. He's in charge of the damn university. It's like, okay, something going on there. To give you an idea for the kind of integration that guy had, he tracked everyone. He had a personal list of people he tracked. It was 8,000 large, and he personally sent them Christmas cards every year. I got on his radar because something happened with those things. When I say 8,000, it's like bankers' boxes, many. He signed all of them personally. He knew all of them personally. He kept all of them personally. He gets all that right here. That's 8,000 people in all the personal lives, right? That's just one area he's in. That's how wild some of these people are. I'm pissed. I don't know if I want to say it that way. I will say it that way. He got really fucking pissed. You get the people who are really sometimes just because stuff I've been through. I try not to be weird. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not to be. It's like, this guy was really cool. At one point, we got really pissed because that's a pretty important thing to him. That's a personal touch kind of thing. And you're literally like touching your personal friends at that point in time. You're really thinking about it because you're a conduit kind of thing. The person who's in charge of it, getting close to retirement didn't really want to do that because it's like a waste of time, waste of energy. We can do more important things with the time I have here, kind of thing. So it got massively messed up. So in a single night, I had to go through 8,000 records and make sure that not only did I get records, did I get the envelopes ready, and I match those envelopes to those things in one night, 8,000 times. Yeah. I didn't want to hear him bitch. Is what it was. We're getting ready to go into a meeting. He called a meeting the next day to bitch at that person in front of all of us. It's like, you fucking listen to that. There you go, it's done. I can go back to work now. Yeah. Like, good boss. He actually paid me for those hours there. It's like, how many hours you work? I don't know. Probably about 8 hours overnight. Okay, here you go. Don't do that again. Okay, that's not going to happen. I'm going to do that a whole hell of a lot, but okay. Right? And so that's what I do. I need to talk about war a little bit. Not related to actual war, but as of concept. The stuff that we do in here. I think I mentioned it the last class, maybe last week. It's like all this stuff feeds into that. All these things that you learn, all these tools that you can turn into weapons. It's like you're on some really weird people in these fields. Just in higher education now, as much as your personality, like you get along with those people, try to pick up as many of those skills as you can. Personality things very fun in the conflict sometimes because they are some eccentric people. We all are kind of to some degree. One of the interesting people. he had a particular penchant for wanting to do that quite directly. It's like if there's something around and like martial arts kind of stuff, it's like, here, look, I'll show you how to use this as a weapon. Watch, it's a water bottle. You can't use that as a weapon. Oh, if I'm jamming it down your throat, you can't really do much about it, right? Here, come here. I can smack you a few times too, right? Really, really interesting stuff. It's sort of like this, the practical side of things versus the functional side of things, versus the, you need to get something done. Fighting. This isn't, that's probably actually more of a policing thing. We need to use of force. It's you got someone who's got a weapon in their hand, you get that weapon out of your hand. How different ways you can do it. I can break their arm, I can dislocate their shoulder, or if I know what I'm doing, I can get them to let go of it. I can use my words if I'm really, really nice, right? If not, maybe it's the position I put their arm in. The tendons just don't move that way. That's going to hurt. Or another one I thought I learned from was really cool is that they got the hand like this. Let's say, can't do it this way. Reach over, grab your fingernails, take them downwards. Right here across the top of your fingers and start peeling back with your fingernails. Just take all the skin off. They'll let go real fast because they like their fingers, right? War. Know what your purpose is. It's not this one. If you need it, you got it. You got the tool sets. Just realize what you're doing. Be ready to dissect things. That's this class. That's literally this class. In this class, it's like I thought about going really, really abstract and bringing in like a block of cheese and a cheese slicer. So I guess you get the damn point, right? It's like everything you get is going to be like a block of cheese or a block of something. You don't know exactly what it is. You got to start cutting into it. What this one does is it gives you basically it's kind of like this. I got a block of cheese. I got this thing right here. It's got a whole bunch of lines in it. I want to go schmink, right? Now I got slices of cheese. Gives me a little bit more information, right? Okay, I'm going to take it. Take that block. I'm going to twist it a little bit. I'm going to just rotate it. Schwink. Now I got something a little bit different, right? Now I got rectangles, right? Well, rectangle, whatever you call them. Not a cube, but whatever the hell that shape is. I can't think of shape right now, right? I'm not done yet because there's still more to this. There's still some stuff I can't see. Let's rotate it a different way. Slice this way. Now it's cube, right? I can double that work. And also, if I were hungry, I could eat it, right? That's right. I'm looking just want to get the whole block. Right? Right. Make it consumable. Everything you're reading right now has already been made consumable for you. Everything that you read is pre-chewed food. It's kind of why sometimes you read stuff and it's like, I get it, but there's not really a whole lot here. Oh, it's there. It's just not right there. That's the whole point of like lit reviews and that kind of stuff. So we can go out there and start diving into that stuff and see what it is for real. You'll do that across your classes. And this kind of gets you to the point where it's like you got to some degree the ideas of some of those building blocks as some people have historically put them together. That's theory. We're not doing that here. Thank God for that. That shit sucks. It's flighty stuff sometimes, and you have to figure out what it means at whatever level you're trying to deal with it at, if it even applies there. Sometimes it doesn't. That's kind of fun side. In here it matters, but it will matter less to you because I'll provide you that some degree. And sometimes I'm just curious, so I don't really care. That's crime analysis. If you really get into it, those people, they don't care at all. It's like that's why in some books they'll talk about well, this type of activity is completely theoretical. No, it isn't. It's just they're doing it in a different way, and it's not the way that those people think or making that criticism. Right? They're doing it with what I just kind of did with the block of cheese. You can do it that way too. Your purpose drives what you're doing. Make sure you have a purpose. I've yet to go through the emails. Hopefully you guys have sent me that with like that one thing. I almost want to show you guys the movie City Slickers. You guys ever seen that movie?
What
Billy Crystal, Jack Palance. Going out running cattle.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 2 films.
Yeah.
Every now and again I like to go into films because they do really do well at dialing things down. And I'll show you what I mean. In that one, there's a few different points in both of those movies where this Jack Palance, he dies in the first one and in the second one too, as his twin brother. It's really kind of funny movie. It's a couple of movies. Yeah, it's that one thing. There's one thing. First film is like there's one thing that matters in life. You gotta figure that out. It's your purpose. Why? Right? You'll figure that out. That's the start to that. You need to put a lot more thought into those things too as we go, and I'll help you as you go to some degree. That's on you, not on me. I just want you to start thinking about it. That's why I'm doing that. You need to start thinking. If you were in my law class, that's kind of was like that's me in the morning. Wake up. Just trying to wake up. Second film, they did it a little bit better because that's the one you know, they're going for the money kind of thing. Anytime you see, no, this is part two. Oh, part one did well. They want more money. Okay. In that film, Jack Wentz. I'll tell you about that one thing. It's out of this other thing right here. It's gold. Nothing but gold. Yeah. It's like, here it is. Get to digging. Right? Here it is quite literally. You've been told, you know, you can leave I'm gonna go with that one. It's a different one. I was gonna say lead horse to water. That's not the right one. Everything's just right there. You just need to dig in. That's the biggest thing. If I want to give it to you in the parable form, I want you to struggle with it. That struggle is strength. You'll need to do that. Some of these things are going to be difficult to struggle with. When I start getting into like some of the program stuff like that, like as you get into that kind of stuff, as a heavy playing that, you're going to see what real struggles are. It's like, this thing just ain't working. Yeah, you got to figure out what's going on with the formatting and stuff like that to get it to run that kind of stuff. We'll get you into that. But like, know what your purpose is, align your stuff to that, move forward in that regard. Do that across as many things as you can, get as many things as you can to line up. That's the same thing we do in here with these projects. Let's see. So that's a little bit about war. I need to give you a sit rep for SWACJA. That's from policing. You see how far I got into that slideshow? I didn't even start it. I couldn't remember what's in it. Here. It's research methods, chapter 1. Let's see outline. Yeah. Do. Yeah, different outline. And it's not gonna happen. Okay. So let's go ahead and make that bigger for everybody so you can see it too. Do share screen. I guess that's screen 1, yeah. Looks to be. Yeah. Okay. So the value here. Value here is an understanding thing. The value really here is an understanding thing. I guess I will get it. What's more important? Having or knowing how to fish?
No, just be knowing.
Yeah, you can move around, right? You don't have to stay in one area. Those fish move. That's how people survive for most all of human history. For nomadics, you gotta move. That's why I love rural areas. You guys kind of know the value of that a little bit. You're gonna get up and move because you got a real emergency, like health emergency. You're gonna move your ass out of town. They'll take care of the family. It's really serious. Your ass is gone. That kind of thing, right? That matters. Keep that in mind. Here, this class is the how-to. If you want to see how they created the books that are in front of you for any of your classes, that's this class. If you want to see how to write a lit review, it's like you'll get that in your other classes too. It's also this class. If you want to understand how to take numbers and cleave into something, that's this class. If you want to understand, okay, maybe this thing doesn't have numbers. My favorite one. That gold thing. I'll run with that for a second so that way you can kind of get an idea of what the hell I'm talking about. Life's very interesting when you start getting into it. Sometimes it's as simple as just look and see what's going on. Sometimes if you see something that's kind of curious, it's almost like if you look at it from a certain perspective, it just channel changes a little bit. We're dealing with money. So money. When we're dealing with in our society with something like this, right? Most societies like something like that. People acquire it, some people don't. And this can be really, really long and really, really bad. Okay. This is 0. Maybe over here is 1. Over here is going to be your Elon's, your Oprah's, that kind of thing. Right? A lot of people on that 0 side. If I were to have in my possession, literally right here in the room with us, so I just grabbed it and stole it, just took it, mine. I have the ability. I've got Leonardo da Vinci's Michelangelo, the statue, the sculpture. Stole it. I found some way to steal it. It's mine. It's in my living room. Right? What is that worth?
It's priceless, really. I don't know if you could put a value on it.
Priceless. Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna walk outside and follow my dog. I'm gonna scoop up shit and hold it in my hand. The other hand. One hand I got this, the other hand I got a hand on the statue. What's the value of the thing in my hand?
What somebody will pay for, like the market value of it.
Really, it's this.
Well, you think it's priceless? Do you?
I do. I'm not gonna put a money value on that thing. I'm not gonna get that damn fuck out of my hand. Sorry for the bad language, but yeah, like that thing's basically worth zero right now. It's like I really don't want that. I'm not gonna give that to someone if I can convince them to. It's like that's a different skill I'm actually selling. I'm not actually selling the crowd. I'm selling. Hey, I can convince people. Right? I'm a greasy car salesman. Call me Greasy Jesus. You know, it's like that kind of a thing. I'm here as your savior. No, that's not gonna ever happen. Don't listen to that. Yeah, most of those things can't put to this scale. They're not worth something. They just can't understand it this way. One of those things is completely different than the others, though, but neither one of those things fit in the scale. They're very, very much the same. Right? Look at modern art. So that stuff's rated as priceless. You can put it whatever hand you want, right? I know which hand I put it in. It's not going to be the one that has the big name.
If you stole the statue of Michelangelo, it wouldn't be worth anything to you because you wouldn't get anything for it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. So we're going to be more
It's in
flexible.
jail.
Yeah. Yeah. So this thing is the exact same as this thing. When we're looking at this, right? That's qualitative. Right? I was talking to someone recently about this, and it's like, Jesus, guys, kind of understanding the nature of life. We're trying to find out what's real. To some degree, that's true, right? Golly, that's a hell of a pun too. When we talk about this class, the word is reification. It'll come up in one of these first chapters. Reification is basically you're taking something that's a concept and you're treating it as if it's real. That's a big no-no, but it's only the way that you can understand things too. So it's like knowing how to fish is more important than having a fish right now. Most situations, unless you're dying and starving right now, then it's a little bit different. That's that nature thing going on. That's that nature thing going on, right? Trying to understand things. I can force it into the system if I want, but it's not really. It's really hard to do. There's this. Ooh. Then we got that thing with money, right? And so here's the more complex thing that you guys will understand, and this is kind of what we're doing whenever we do our analyses. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. It's going to have some type of shape, right? You stop and kind of think about it from a logical perspective of what's going on with those people inside those situations. You're going to see, if we were to look at this, okay, this is a TV screen, right? Imagine it's your TV screen. I'm going to do this to it. What do you see? A big greasy spot on the TV screen, right? Oh, what do I see? That's what is it I see there? Yeah, I see those little damn pixels, right? For the most part, what for TVs, that's that used to be that way. It still kind of is that way, and that's going to be red, blue, and green, right? Okay, for us, it's people. Give them whatever category you want, because they have all kinds of categories, but it's literally individual people. Sometimes it's different levels, but for this one, we're going to say this is actual people, a whole bunch of different people, all different categories, a whole bunch of different things, right? Think about the nature of what that thing is that you're dealing with itself. Money. If you have it, great. You know what you can do with it. If you don't, maybe you do know what you can do with it. You just don't have it. Or maybe you've had it and you don't know what to do with it. You don't even know over here, right? If you start thinking about what life looks like for these people, we're going to say these are this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. We'll say this is 4, this is 5, right? Give me your poor, you're tired, you're hungry masses. Right? Give a chance for you to go up. That's what we did here in this country. That's what's so nice about it. It's not castes or anything like that. But that's a different discussion for a different day. But this is I want you to think about what life is like when you have absolutely nothing. When you have a little bit of something. You have the whole world at your disposal at times. From an abstract concept, you realize that this guy can kind of do. This scares the shit out of me. Bad language I know about. This really does frighten me. Humanity is a mass concept on scale. He's working towards being able to touch that, quite literally. If you listen to him talk at times, he will say that quite directly, because that's exactly what he means if you're paying attention. I forget what it was. It was some argument where someone was like talking to them about doing something for money, and it was something where he didn't like the spirit of it. He's like, oh, it's all about me. Fuck you. How about that? How's that? Fuck you. And he said that a whole bunch of times. And then he starts talking, how about we take that to humanity? How about we take that to humanity? I'll just tell humanity and see how the world responds. So he's doing something who's extremely powerful, who's trying to crush them. It's like, fuck you. I'm not going to move. It's one of my favorite elements in our society right there. My generation was Rage Against the Machine. There's quite literally the song Killing in the Name of. Repeatedly in that song, it goes, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Right? That's part of our element here we have to take into account whenever it's people too. So that might be driving this to some degree. Right? In both directions too. Right? Think about what life's like. All of you are going to be in different places at different times. Usually it's probably good to start with the extremes, because that's something that you can play with in terms of numbers.
You're talking about that interview that he did about when they're talking about his people that were advertising on.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you just sell it? Just sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were trying to influence him.
Mm-hmm. Like, no, that's not what this
Yeah.
is. I'm trying to get this uncorrupted and pure.
Right.
You're trying to get this fucking evil thing. I don't need that. Is what he's over here. What's he gonna do with it? Who knows? That could be Satan right there. It's like, or it could be a normal person. Don't look for the savior thing. You won't find those anywhere. Don't look for those anywhere. If you're going into elections and thinking about that, Jesus, God, I hope. God help you. If you're not gonna get that anymore, don't look for that. You need to be your own.
Well, that was about freedom of speech, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to influence him by giving him money to censor people.
Yes,
pretty
yes,
much.
that's exactly what.
Exactly. And he had FU. That's what he did.
Yeah, yeah. I believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I also believe in freedom of speech. That's why it's one of those things. I want you guys to talk. Don't have any fears for anything saying ever. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah, that's why I talk that way at times. It's like it does sound a little cavalier. It's not that. It's actually purposeful. One of it's I don't have to manage my own language. I do talk like that. I'm raised like a sailor kind of thing. The other one is make sure that you test out those things. If you don't test it out, you don't know if you have it. You don't ever test it, you never have it. That's it. That's also a methods thing. Get tested.
But isn't humanity a difference of perspective? Because if you look at the way Elon looks at it, and if you look
Yes.
at the way Bill Gates looks at it, it's two different things.
Yeah, or if you're looking at it from the way the Hindenburg looked at it, the humanity.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That's old. If you don't.
And they might pick up on that one. Blimps on fire, a whole bunch of people dying right before your eyes and about to fall to death. So the humanity, I can't stand that. Right? That's what he's putting across. Kind of got a little emotional with that one. Good God. Don't focus on that one. Just agree. Focus on this one. Right. But that don't mean the people at zero. That's a really interesting thing to think about. If you really stop and take some time to think about what does life look like for these people? These people can fly wherever the fuck they want and do whatever they want.
Limitless.
Yeah, they can buy entire countries. Right? You have some people who have an income that's bigger than the gross domestic income from an entire country. Many. Like, okay, that's a little frightening, right? Because they themselves are a country in some ways, if you look at it that way. Yeah. Most people are somewhere in this range, somewhere in zero, but if you start stacking things on, you can see how bad zero gets.
Where would you say the average person in the United States is? They're not at the bottom, are they?
Really hard to
I
say.
think of Africa,
It's really hard to say because it's one of those things. If you look at it overall, we're going to stray it pretty good on this. It will have a disproportionate minorities will be disproportionately represented over here, right? Mathematical side, if you want to do it, you want to fix society. I can fix it. I can fix it overnight if you want me to. And sometimes people ask for that a lot. No, I'm actually being 100% serious here. I'll do it the statistical way. I'll give you an example off topic, and I'll bring it back to this one, she'll get it. Now, how many of you have ever heard of the joke about the statisticians at a rifle range for shooting arrows? I like rifle range. More distance, more accuracy, more refinement. First shot goes 3 inches to the left of the entire thing. Second shot went 3 inches to the right. We got it. The average there is we got it. Yeah, no. You miss that thing big both times. That thing's gonna come and cleave you if you're not careful. So that's how it works if you're gonna do that war thing. So make sure you're on target. Here's how you do it. I'm gonna have about 10 more of these. Society's fixed. Where disproportion's going. People try to do this regularly. It's like that's not gonna fix anything. That'd be like saying this. I'm just gonna do this, but it won't be 10 Oprah Winfrey's. I'm just gonna add in what will be the equivalent of maybe we'll say 100,000 people. So that will go. We'll give them a few $1,000s, right? This is where our spending is going to be. It's going to make a real big change in society because I'm going to pick it based on that problem I think is associated with this. If it's the racial one, I'll do reparations, is what they call it, right? I'm just going to take money out of the system and throw it into these people because that's going to fix it. Good luck with that. That'll fix it for about 5 seconds, right? Because what's going to happen there? If you're having trouble with it, you're having trouble. It doesn't matter how much I give to you. It really doesn't. And like saying, okay, I know several people who are addicted to heroin, right? You go ahead and you give them a nice, good cash infusion, a few $1,000s. Odds are they're dead. Welcome to the system. This is why I started out talking about errors and things like that. You have to do the math. You have to look at both sides of the equation, and you have to take more than just one equation in mind at all times at the same time. And realize that because there are so many levels, these things will play out in every direction at the individual level. So if there's a probability that things are going to take place, it's not a probability. It's more of a possibility. Really, it's an eventuality. It will happen, right? So like the death sentence and killing innocent people, it's happened a lot. It's happened a lot. It does happen, and so we got to figure out a way to manage that. That's this here, right? Qualitative side. This one's unfathomable. What's this one? People here in this country don't really go through that unless you're in some of the worst situations. The way I like to kind of relate it to people is this right here. You'll like this. Same thing as this one. The difference between fasting and starvation.
Well, fasting is you make the decision to fast, and the starvation you don't. You don't have a choice.
Okay, right there. Same thing as this. A lot of shit like that. Right. Well, I usually try to relate to people is like if you want to know the real difference, like you got it. That's it. You want to know the real difference. Then you'll personally know it firsthand. Difference there is that choice. Show hands. I won't do that one. I'll ask the question. Don't show hands or anything like that because that wouldn't be nice. It'd be like asking, how many of you have ever gone 3 days in a row without eating a single bite of food without a choice? Right? Most people in this country would actually not be able to raise their hand for that. Even those who are homeless. Right? That's a pretty big one. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Good. Bother me. Let's start. Talk about the hunger thing in math. This is method. So it's like, okay, we're going to fix income. I figured out how to fix the racial distributions. We're going to add more in Oprah Winfrey's. And we're also going to do that across a few other racial groups because we're going to take care of that today. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're talking about that. You see, like this is a number. Yeah. Shape, maybe. That thing right there is gonna vary a lot. Right? You've got these things going on at the same time. Any one of these people's got what going on in their lives, what things matter to them, all kinds of things, across all things. What matters here? I'll figure it out. I'm not gonna can't do that for you. You gotta look into it and figure it out. The shape thing, okay? This one's money. Okay, we could do common controls. What do those look like? Demographics.
Hey, Jane,
Yeah,
speed kills, brother.
it does. It does. That's why I'm not going too fast. And I'm not going hungry.
Question.
Yeah.
I'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
You wanna go down on the first, come back on the fifth, you just wanna go down on the second, and come back on the fourth. So I don't know what your executive meeting that you have to be in. Yeah.
I.
The
Give me just one
executive
quick second.
meeting gonna be on the second or the on the fourth,
We
because I'm getting they have brand new university vehicles we're gonna drive.
excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so that's
Sorry.
no.
But
That's good. I like that.
They're beating
That's
me
gonna-
up for this.
Calendar, no notifications. That is, you got that. Do. Probably the second through the fifth kind of thing. I'll probably go and have a separate vehicle that I run down on that day to run some things because that won't take me very much. Maybe the day before kind of thing if we need to do that. So probably the second
We're
through.
not gonna Ride together.
Oh no, we'll ride together. I've just got. Got some resources. You need many things for labor kind of stuff. We'll put them to work too. They would want some involvement, so they're gonna get some involvement.
Okay, so you need to call Linda and get them set up.
Yeah.
So with four of them. So.
I'll get you numbers in a minute. Right now,
Okay, you're in the middle class, I understand. Do we need the car the first, to the fifth?
you're trying to get
Or
us.
do we need the car
No.
just the second?
I thought
through
I
the
said.
fourth?
Faculty members are real.
Pretty damn simple thing. Do you
Okay.
want to stay the day, leave the day after the deal? Or do you want to be there the day before or both?
I don't know. Let's go day before and both. Let's go day before and both, just as an in case. And as I get closer, I'll refine that.
Reserve the vehicle for the first
First through fifth, and we'll resign.
and then we'll bring it back on the fifth. Cool. Does that work for you? Okay, so now
I
that.
told you, really, flighty. I'm very flighty and hard to nail down. I think I
Well,
said that correctly.
and so, well, I've expressed that before. So we'll just take care of the vehicle that way. So that means then we would have hotel rooms on the second, the third, and the fourth.
Yeah.
3 nights instead of 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
You good with that?
Okay. Let me catch back up again like.
Might as well have a good time and spend 3 days.
Yeah, so that's SWAC J. So that's the stuff we're talking about in here. So we're building into this.
Hey, I have a question.
What's up? I still share my dang calendar. You guys don't need to see the calendar. That's my calendar. I stay really busy. So what's your question? What's up?
That conference isn't required, is it?
No, it's not required at all. Talked about that last week, and I know I've only posted up the first class from last week. I'll get the second one up today, and then this one will go up shortly after. SWACJ, Southwestern Association of Criminal Justice, October 2nd through 4th, I think is, I'd have to look back at my calendar. You're asking about something that's a different thing. I'm not in that year right now. Basically, it's that first week of October, Thursday through Friday, where we're having it's 6 states worth of educators, researchers, field workers, that kind of stuff, being invited to basically come together, present, meet, start research projects, all that good stuff. Whole bunch of stuff going on there. Here in this class, you want research projects and you want to present. We have a time frame for that this semester. What I'm going to do, that's one kind of avoid the book a little bit, because once you understand what I'm talking about here, I can set you off to the races for some things, because you can start seeing those shapes shape up. That's actually this next thing. Okay, so as we're dealing with those people, because they're ultimately we get down to people. Like if you really look at it, do a correlation between counties, population, and crime. You'll see that that relationship's above 90%. Usually it's above 95% because people are problems, right? People are so much of a problem. It's like, maybe we should have less people. Maybe I shouldn't have children. That kind of lesson went out in society. That kind of message has been going out a lot, but don't listen to that. Like that's actually really bad. Don't listen to that. That's more for later in life, but that's an idea of that. This nature kind of thing, when it comes to difficulty, it's like that kind of thing. That's why that message goes so wide. And to some ways that's kind of really gotten off in society. And we'll see some of that stuff here. So let's give me some demographic categories. Different things that we think of whenever we classify people across things. Money's one of them. I keep running my coffee out.
Well, age,
Race.
Age,
religion.
race, religion. This looks like illegible. Race. What else?
Income.
Mm-hmm.
Where they live.
Income. You can also say career by that point. You should kind of get the proxy for that one. Also,
Education.
yeah.
Education.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start bringing in education and to some degree that one too, but they don't really talk about that one because it takes time. Excuse me. This kind of thing. Even to some degree, you could say where you live in terms of like what's your house size? As in like your actual literal house size. This is like 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 8,000 feet. It's like, okay, gotcha. That's not a house. That's at the same time, it's I've got a cardboard box. That's also not a house. It's like that kind of a thing. What do you get when you start putting these things together? So you've heard this as a phrase, and whenever I give this to you, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put the acronym here, SES. Socioeconomic status, right? Basically what they say there is it's sort of like the zero-sum game of where you sit in society relative to everyone else. Here are the measures we start bringing in to figure that out. We literally have to combine it in that way to figure that out. You can use any one of these, but the more you bring together, the better it is. That's kind of a concept. It's not a concept. That's a lesson taken to apply across all things. The cumulative nature of things applies here just like it does over in law, just like it does in evidence, just like it does everywhere else. The more you stack up, the more you have. That whole thing about 3 piles of money, they're there. You got to look for them. They're not going to be right in front of your eyes. You just got to change the channel a bit. Like, oh, if I change this a little bit, look around that thing, I can see, oh, there's that big pile of money again. Right? Yeah. And so you got that. Age, race, religion, socioeconomic status. Those are a good start. Think of those as all different ways to take this thing right here. We'll call it the card deck of people in whatever area that we're dealing with. Oh, I wish I brought that deck of cards. It's lit today. I'm going to take it.
Does political philosophy have anything to do with that too? Like what country a person lives in?
Well, that one's more of a, you can add that in there later. Usually that's going to be levels of analysis. So we start getting this to is, do we want to do something that's like comparative in nature? Are we doing something that's, stuff like that? Basically, we start getting into comparative. They'll start talking about in terms of like Sherlock Holmes. We'll do there.
Like deductive and inductive.
Yeah. You start, and when you start talking, whenever you see the words deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, deductive is subtraction to some degree. Inductive is additive to some degree. But we're gonna start getting more specific for things like interactions, right? If I'm interacting these things, what's the interactive effect between being young or old and what races, that kind of thing? How does that shape this thing, right? It's going to shape it a little bit different. To do that, actually multiply those things together to interact them. If it's a scale, I might just be adding up a whole bunch of questions that all build together and stack up a certain way. if it's a, there's a few other terms I'm trying to remember what it is. Those are the big ones though, the simple math. Sometimes it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, that kind of thing. It's literally that y equals mx plus b stuff. You're using ideas rather than actual numbers to some degree. I'm actually playing with this one while I was writing some reports because it's like, you know, this thing right here, we talk about people and their needs and kind of stuff. Today, I've never seen any actual depiction of what it would look like if I took an area, I took its population, I took its population by age, and then I took the caloric requirements for people by age to see how much food do they actually need. And then look at, okay, how much money is going into that area? Is that anywhere in your clothes? That sounds to me like hunger on a large scale. That's an empty stomach. I don't like that, right? We don't look at it that way because no one's looking at it that way because no one thought of it that way, I guess. At least for this format. I'm sure some people thought about that in that way a lot. But specifically there, different math, right? Each time you do this, each subject you deal with, as you're dealing with data, basically you're going to look at records almost like cards in a deck. Every time you deal with a new concept that you're doing to some degree, is you're going to reshuffle that deck. Those cards are not just like standard cards, it's like a pop-up book. And then you're going to stack those things together, see how it shapes out. It's literally like that, right? Every time we deal with a concept, it's always going to reorganize in the same kind of way within that data set, so you can redo it at the same time. If I sort this by race, it's gonna put these people over here, these people over here, these people over here, right? Or if I ask how many people are in what races, can you mean this number, and this number? If I tell it I want to analyze something by race, it'll separate that data first by race and then analyze it that way, right? Process is involved too. Very, very important. To some degree, it's shapes. To some degree, it's numbers, because you're dealing with numbers here too. To some degree, it's this thing right here, right? Now, those are a whole bunch of different ways to look at things that you all do already, right? You literally do this. This one right here, my favorite way to put it is like shit testing a liar, someone you might think is lying. You guys do that all the time. Usually it's in like relationships. I'm just kind of, maybe I'm messing with somebody, that kind of thing. How do you tell a, I remember where I heard this. It's an old scenario. It's like you got a place with two paths, right? On each side of each path is a person. One person can't tell a lie. One person can't do anything but tell the truth, but they can't tell you which one's which. How do you figure out which path to take? Yeah, I'll let you guys think about this, because what you're going to see something as you're feeling that one out, because that's when you have to feel out a little bit, and I'll tell you how to do it in a second. That one.
So run that by me again.
What if you just,
Two paths.
Yeah.
You can ask anything, but the two people's on each path. One person's always going to like you. One person's always going to be honest, but they can't tell you which one's which. And they're making their recommendations. You can ask them anything. But whatever you ask, that person's going to be lying. That person's going to be honest, but you don't know which. The difference here, what you're trying to elucidate. What's the difference between an honest person and a really good liar?
I think they believe what they're saying is the truth. So
No, they make you
people
believe it.
lie.
They
Yeah.
try to make you believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe they believe, maybe they don't. From your perspective, to some degree, it's this. You're doing something like this, but you're putting it on a scale like this. I'm going to have to make some distinctions here to get that to fit. It's not going to be the easiest of things, right? So you need to be able to hold information in your mind, a few different points, and be able to play with them in to some degree in terms of is it positive, is it negative, is it neutral, what direction does it take, that kind of stuff. But really what you need to think about is its time, right? You're dealing with something, what you do is just give it time. Come on. Consistency is one way to do it. That's how you do it in the real world, because you never have a situation where someone can't lie to you or can't do anything but tell you the truth. That's very rare. You can find some people. So you gotta figure out that range. That's a really hard thing to do. In that situation that I gave you, the hypothetical, ask the inverse. What would each person say? Right? Got 2 lines there. Okay, you're the honest person. What path should I take? Take my path. You're the liar. What path should I take? Take my path. Okay? I can't tell which ones you wish, so it looks like you're both just recommending your path. Which one's the right one? Well, there's a few different ways you can do it. Take the path, pick one, try to figure out both. Right? Sometimes it's a little helpful to be like, okay, different information set. You. What would he say? You. What would he say? Look, those both turn to the same path. The liar said, well, that guy, he's honest, he's gonna point out this honest path. I'm a liar, I have to lie. Well, that honest guy, he's gonna point out this path right here like I'm pointing out. Right? The honest guy, and you ask him what the liar's gonna say, well, that liar over there, he's gonna tell you to take his path. Pulled out something different there. And I know the wrong path. Why? I flipped it. Inversions. Inversions are common. That's a math thing to some degree, but not really. You do it in your head all the time. You just need to do it more directly. Your head's starting to hurt a little bit. Probably. Little. Or is this good? Okay, good. Because this is the kind of stuff we're going to be doing. Speaking of SWAC, I did spend more time doing that over the weekend, expecting some other stuff too. So I haven't gotten through emails to be able to compile interests. Make sure you've gotten that to me. I'll be doing that. That's gonna be tomorrow, really. And what I'll do with that is I've got a few ideas for things I'm gonna run for doing stuff like this, and we'll take your interests and start overlapping them. Right? As we're talking about those ideas in different directions in this class, it's like what will happen is those things will start to firm up. I'll start getting you information. I'll start showing you how to run things. Right? Not just this, but okay. Now that we've done that, I was like, put them over here. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna open up. Let's see what kind of programs they have here. All apps. They've got Excel. That's a good start. Most of you have experience with Excel. I don't see any of those. Okay. Here's another one. Desktop dot NSUOK.edu. Wow. Oh, look, I got to sign in again. You're going to tell me to verify it? You're going to tell me to verify it, aren't you? No, it didn't this time. Yeah. Well. Okay, I got to sign in again. You guys ever seen this before? Yes, no? How many of you seen this before?
Let me see it and I'll tell you.
You haven't seen that login before that looked like that yet? Maybe. Okay. Wait for this to come up. It may take it a minute because it's actually pulling pretty hard on the internet. There it goes. Huh. See what I'm seeing there? Boop, there's regular. It's a computer. I just signed into a digital computer that's posted online. You all have access to this. I don't know what programs are on there to some degree because I know depending on my location, you get access to different programs from here in your campus, or even whenever I'm off campus. It usually has these programs right here. And these are some of the ones beyond Excel that we'll be getting into. That's going to be a little bit of ArcGIS. You guys have seen that. I'll show you what it looks like as it comes up. And then this other one over here, that's going to be all apps. We're going to go down all the way to I for IBM SPSS statistics. And as those things are coming up, I'm pushing it real hard. Yeah, we're just going to open up a regular map. Ping, ping. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is invalid. Choose another location. Whatever. Here's one. Just open up that thing. It's thinking about it. Yeah, sure. Okay, do that. Blink. That looks just like an Excel spreadsheet. That's how most people run statistics. It's going to be programs like this, SPSS, SAS, that stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of these. Basically, they run just like an Excel, except for, to some degree, you got a table of contents. Right? I'm going to tell you over here. You can't quite see. Let me move that out of the way. And as you can see here, well, look at this. Those are some different variables. Is it text or is it numbers? You can put in values and that kind of stuff. Measures. ordinal, nominal, scale, levels of measurement, just like we're going to be learning in here. So it'll have that stuff baked in. Basically what that means is if I had other things programmed in here, if I start clicking this around, this button, sometimes it'd show me numbers, sometimes it'd show me words. For example, if this was just present and not count, did this person commit a robbery? You could do 1, yes, 0, no. And then literally, okay, how many crimes did they commit? I'm just going to add. Now I've got a different measure for something different across all those people, right? And that stuff matters a lot. Right, so you already have some familiar with Excel. I'll show you some shortcuts in there that you guys will use. Because it'll be one of those things that once you learn how to do it, those are things that it's so much easier to do things the way. I just browse. How about this? Maybe I got an old one. Cancel. Open another project. This PC. Let's actually go to my file. They updated all this stuff, so it looks like I don't have one yet. No, I might have some stuff in here. Fall, spring, summer. Nope, all empty. Just open up a map. Go ahead and let me do the default. How about this, project 1? Like I said, clunky. Just put it right here on my desktop then. That'll do it. Okay. You can go ahead and come on in if you want. I'm just putting the fingertips, the world of their fingertips. Whenever this thing, yeah, there you go. There's a little world at your fingertips. As you zoom out, if it lets me. Yeah, it's the entire world. It's right there. So those things that you have over in the spreadsheets, you can get them to display over here too. So you can understand what it is as a concept and see what it does over in society in terms of, at least in terms of the geographic, physical, 2 different ways to understand things. Cool. I'll start showing you how to do this stuff. With that, I will catch you all next class. Have fun. And I'll see y'all before